that's part of it. And then the other piece is I'm really looking to teach people to think differently about their businesses. For example, like one of the things I often work with clients on is extricating themselves from the business. Often entrepreneurs feel like they are one with their business, and they can do that for a little while, but you can't scale that way. It's not sustainable to live that way. So in order to separate yourself from the business, you have to know who you are, and you have to know who your business is and how they're different. And that's what really allows people to have a much more fulfilling experience in entrepreneurship, is when they're able to see themselves outside of the business, have boundaries with it, and still be able to run the business and support the business. So there's that piece of it. And then really engaging with critical thinking about what are we trying to do with this business? What is it trying to accomplish? Who does it exist to serve? Dealing with all of those different aspects of thinking with the business. The focus on thinking, I find we really have moved away from in society at large. We don't really spend time doing the thought work around things that allows us to succeed in what we're actually trying to accomplish. So instead of being proactive, we end up being very reactive.
Mm-hmm. How do people receive that?
The focus on thinking.
Yeah, that the shift from reactive to proactive. What's your experience with that?
Generally, and so another way we talk about this in continuous improvement is going from firefighting to fire prevention. And generally, when we're in a firefighting culture, we're very stressed out all the time. And it's really kind of a martyr culture, and somebody's always got to be on the pike, right? So it's usually a relief for people when we're able to make headway from moving away from firefighting to be fire preventing, being proactive, taking a step back from the reactivity to say, okay, what is it that we understand about the system and how it works? What needs to change in order for it to be more functional, to work better, to be smoother, to actually answer the questions that we know we're going to receive? It tends to be a relief. They have, like I was doing an RCA training, which is root cause analysis training with the client. We were working with several of their team members. And at the end of the training, I asked for kind of big takeaways that they'd had. And one woman was like, I've cut down on emails by like 20%. And then she walked through how she'd used the critical thinking that we took in RCA and applied that to just how she was approaching emails, and how her focus on who is the customer that I'm serving? Who is this customer? What's the information they need up front? Have I given them all of the information that they need from where they're sitting? That one approach, just thinking about it that way, looking at serving that customer, cut down on a huge email back and forth that was constantly happening with a lot of different internal customers. We're not even talking about external customers, just within that system. And so as she was sharing that, the whole group was like, wow, that's amazing. Because she was like, I basically got 20 minutes back in my day, which maybe doesn't sound like a lot, but when it's very chaotic, 20 minutes means a lot. I mean, that's a lot of time to have recouped just from emailing. So getting that time back and then feeling like they have more time for creative thinking. A lot of my clients are creative, so doing like branding or art, and then bringing in some of these process and systems improvements that allows for them to have more time, which means more ability to be creative and doing what they want to be doing in the first place.
Mm-hmm.